There's no more room to experiment. That's what local experts are warning, as a drug 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine continues to plague our community. We're talking about a synthetic opioid called fentanyl, and experts say it's killing people at a faster speed than any other substance.
It was pretty instant. There's pictures of him holding me as a baby because he wouldn't let me go.
An immediate connection between Chloe and her big brother Dylan.
He was always joking and singing random songs, making stuff up on the fly.
As the years went by, Dylan started experimenting with marijuana, but it always seemed innocent.
I didn't get to say goodbye or anything.
Then, at the age of 18, Dylan moved to Bloomington.
I was crying all the time because I missed him.
With birthdays just 3 days apart, a visit was in order. But what Chloe didn't realize, her brother was struggling. He started experimenting with other drugs, party drugs, and then heroin.
He had just gotten out of a bad relationship, and he was telling my boyfriend that the only reason he got into heroin and some of those downers was so he could feel warmth, because he missed someone like holding him at night. We moved him home, and then it was just kind of downhill from there. It kept getting worse.
Dylan was stuck in the downward spiral of addiction.
To me, it was like nothing I can say or do is gonna make him stop. I could fight him about it, I could love him about it, nothing's gonna change it.
Using led to withdrawals, withdrawals led to using.
I was like, there'd be times where he'd be sleeping out here on this couch, and I'd sit there and I'd watch him sleep to make sure he's still breathing.
Then, on December 1st of 2021, he decided enough was enough. He was going to rehab.
It just felt like such a relief.
30 days later, he came home. The old Dylan was back.
He would come over to our house and play games and hang out with my cat.
And 11 days later, everything changed.
One in Narcan pretty quick.
I got a call from my mom, and all she said was, "He's dead, get over here, he's dead." And I was in complete denial. I got here and it didn't sink in with me until I saw 5 cop cars outside and the ambulance pull off and shut its lights off.
Killed by an all too common concoction of heroin and fentanyl.
I had 3 days off from work, and I wouldn't get out of bed, I wouldn't brush my teeth, I wouldn't brush my hair, I didn't take a shower. So, yeah.
Fentanyl's, again, it's a synthetic opioid. It can be made fairly easily. It's relatively cheap to manufacture, and it can also be kind of altered so that there's all these fentanyl derivatives.
Typically produced in China and brought through Mexico or other points of entry, that is being pretty much laced into any drug you can think of on the street.
Fentanyl, it does have medicinal purposes. So it is a painkiller, usually used for individuals that are end stage of their life. So extremely potent. You would think somebody stage 4 cancer, somebody in hospice, most likely is using fentanyl to take away pain.
It's stronger than what you would probably think of as a traditional opioid, like even morphine. It's about 100 times stronger than morphine is.
And drug dealers want it because it makes them money. It's inexpensive to buy illegally and use to make their products go further. For example, by mixing it into their heroin, they can sell more, make more money, and get their customers addicted. While fentanyl has been used in the medical field for decades, it started getting mixed in with other opioids like heroin less than 10 years ago. Then in 2019, fentanyl was found in cocaine, methamphetamine, and mixed in with prescription pills like Adderall and Xanax. And today,
I've had a patient in the last month that overdosed thinking they were using marijuana and there was fentanyl in it. I've never seen anybody that has overdosed using marijuana before. Like this kind of an overdose, like I stopped breathing kind of an overdose.
Everything is laced with fentanyl, and that's really where we are seeing the majority, if not most of our overdose deaths are related to fentanyl.
There were 97 overdose deaths in St. Joseph County last year, the highest number the county has ever had. Of those, at least 75% were due to fentanyl.
When we thought we were in a crisis, 2017, 2018, our overdose numbers were in the 50s and 60s. At the time, like 30% of drugs that you would find on the street have fentanyl.
People that are putting this out on the street, they're not pharmacists, chemists, they're not being made in a controlled setting where it's a consistent amount of fentanyl.
Fentanyl is affecting everyone. We're seeing it in every part of town. We're seeing it with every background. Doesn't matter how much money you have, how little money you have, what race you are, what religion you are. It is crossing all social boundaries everywhere.
Meaning, there is no room to experiment.
It's not fair. You know, my generation, I'm a millennial. We had time to experiment. We, could make mistakes, but now mistakes are costing kids their lives.
Leaving behind an unimaginable amount of heartbreak.
How do you get out of bed every day?
I know he's watching over all of us, so.
So it's for him.
Yeah. He could have had it all if he just tried a little bit harder.
I want to thank Chloe for having the strength and bravery to tell her story. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call the number that's on your screen right now. Experts say now is a time to talk to your loved ones, especially your kids, about fentanyl. I have several resources waiting for you online right now. Just head to our website, WNDU.com, and click on this story.